budget cuts, backlash, buying AEW tickets, all that and more on this week's episode of LOB Cast Wrestling, the fortnightly wrestling show where we just talk about wrestling and shizzle.
Yeah.
I am the voice of reason, Dave Stevens, and of course joining me is my congenial tag team partner, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, Lee Hazel.
Now I have to look up what congenial means.
Yeah, you do. I'm not going to tell you.
Do you know what, Dave? I'd rather not know. For once in my life, I'd rather just go blissfully unaware of the crap that you're flinging my way.
It's positive.
It's positive,
Positivity.
right?
Positivity.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that then. It can just be positive. And that reminds me, actually, when you said that buying AEW tickets, I actually do need to get on them, giving you the money for it.
That's true, yeah. Mm. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that and a few
My
other
wife was
things.
actually quizzing me about that, was asking me about that earlier, actually.
It is a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yes, we've got tickets to Forbidden Door.
Also to another event happening soon, but that's nothing to do with you lot. That's just for me and Dave.
But it's more important because this affects us personally. We're going to Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door at the O2, which is a marked improvement from going all the way to bloody West London, because the O2 is literally just one tube stop away from where we live.
It's good. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. We've got decent tickets as well.
Mm-hmm.
Decent tickets.
Yeah, no,
I'll show you on
tickets
the
weren't
map.
bad.
I'll show you on the map later.
Yeah.
Where
Speaking of which, you ever do something like this, for the love of God, go Access. AXS. Don't do Ticketmaster.
I did, because I went on Ticketmaster, because I think the tickets went on sale at 10. Mm. We totally forgot. We had a look at 11, and then they was like the cheapest ones were like 200, 300 quid, for the same. And then you told me to go on Access, and I got the same tickets for 150.
Yeah.
Each. So,
that's a marked down price of about, at the very least, 25%.
Yeah. I mean, it still was like thousands to get down near the front, but
Yeah. I wonder if Access actually still. I wonder if they're just not as bad with the reactive ticket pricing as Ticketmasters are, or if they don't do it.
Well, I mean, we've already got the tickets sent to us as well.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, which is a big change considering when we went to the all-in ones, we had to wait months for Ticketmaster to actually send you the ticket. I mean, I don't know if that's a Wembley or an O2 thing specifically rather than an AEW.
Well, that's cool, yeah.
So, yeah.
So, Dave, I'm sat here with a dry mouth, and it's your turn to get the beers.
That's true, it is my turn to buy beers. Right, I didn't buy these beers. Mm-hmm. I sent Ness down the shop. She was picking up a little, and I said, get some beers for me. She went, what do you want? I went, surprise me. So we have got, is that pronounced Korev?
Korev.
Korev.
Cornwall Lager.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's what we got.
Where on earth did she get
these? The coast
is
our compass, apparently. 4.8% volume.
Do you know what? I am actually really looking forward to trying this now.
She might have got these in Tesco, I think. Well, she took the little one to pick up some glasses today, so yeah. Right, let's try. Are you waiting for me to sample it?
Oh, it's got a good nose.
Connoisseur, I Oh, it does smell nice. Right, let's have a cheers.
Dink it and sink it. Ooh. That tastes like Tesco's lager.
Yeah, it's got an aftertaste, isn't it?
Yeah. That is like, do you remember those old cheap bottles of French lager that you used to get for like
my dad used to love them.
Yeah.
My dad used to love them.
Yeah, everybody's dad used to love them.
You know what that tastes like? That tastes like, when you have a beer down the pub and you've got they've cleaned the glass but it's still got like the washing up liquid taste.
Yep.
That's what that tastes like. So, Korev.
Cornwall Lager.
Well, we got two of them and they're quite big bottles as well, so, oh well.
That should do us all night.
You know what, to be honest,
we've only really got firings, or rather contract non-renewals. Oh, no, actually, they are firings. And we got Backlash to talk about, which, as always, is going to be a 5-match card from WWE.
I'm not really looking forward to it.
It looks woeful.
Yeah.
Like, once again, being saved by the women's matches.
Yeah.
And even then, Becky Lynch's match at WrestleMania was not the most inspiring of the women's matches that weekend. Does Io Sky have anything? No. After being the absolute best thing about WrestleMania last month, Io Sky is nowhere to be seen on this card, which I think is an absolute disgrace.
So the matches are, we've got world title match, Cena and Randy Orton. We've got women's intercontinental match, Lyra, Valkyria and Becky Lynch. We've got Pat McAfee versus Gunther. We've got a 4-way for the US Championship, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. And then we've got the men's intercontinental championship, Dominic Mysterio versus Penta.
Do we want to do this backwards then? And start up with...
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, I mean... Yeah, we could... Yeah, go on. We'll do it back. We'll start from Dominic and we'll work our way up to the main event, shall we?
Right. I mean, so, further to our previous conversation about Dominic Mysterio, I hope Penta batters him.
I do. I really could not give a toss about this match whatsoever.
No, it is an absolute throwaway. Dominic Mysterio's literally only just got on the Intercontinental title, which he won at WrestleMania. If they wanted Penta to have it, then Penta would have just won it there and then himself.
Yeah, there's going to be shenanigans in there. There's going to be Judgment Day shenanigans.
Yeah, and Judgment Day is maybe the most tedious thing about WWE. It's not the worst thing about WWE, but it's certainly it's the Death Riders for WWE. It's the thing that's gone on the longest that everybody's complained about for the longest time that they keep clinging on to.
Well, I mean, because Liv Morgan ain't there at the moment, so yeah, so it is a bit pants. I mean, it's worth it just to watch Liv Morgan, I suppose. The two girls, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the tag team, they're quite good.
Yeah, I mean,
the rest of
for me, Judgment Day was over when Rhea left.
Well, watching Carlito get speared by a Bron Breaker has been good.
Yeah, it has been. Unfortunately, I don't think... Yeah, I can't see Seth Rollins' name on any of these matches, which means his new faction probably isn't going to appear on this card, which is a real shame, because his new faction is by far and away the most interesting thing WWE's got going on right now, from the men's perspective.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking forward to this one.
This card looks like... This really does look like... Okay, so we've had WrestleMania, we blew all our big stuff, and this is the stuff that is left.
Yeah, which is strange, because I remember Backlash normally being a good show after.
Backlash has a reputation for not getting up fans' expectations and then massively exceeding them. Yeah. So maybe that's what we're in for this time around, but I seriously doubt it. I just don't think that Pat McAfee versus Gunther is going to be any kind of good whatsoever. Where was wasn't... I thought that Jey Uso and Logan Paul were going to be on this card. Apparently they're not.
No, I haven't seen that. Well, they haven't announced it.
They haven't announced it.
No, well, because didn't Jey Uso...
But we just had the go-home show for Raw.
Well, maybe it might be something on SmackDown. Because Jey Uso goes on SmackDown as well, doesn't he? So maybe,
does he go on SmackDown as well? Yeah,
so maybe we get something on SmackDown. Because obviously the Logan Paul thing happened after Raw.
Did it happen after?
Yeah, there was an attack apparently afterwards. I didn't see it.
This is what happens when you don't watch Raw on Netflix, when you watch it as a series of YouTube clips. Because frankly, I don't have the time to watch the 2.5 hours worth of Raw. I can just, cater my experience to myself and watch all the interesting stuff.
Did they show Logan Paul attack Jey Uso on YouTube then, I'm assuming? Well, it didn't happen on Raw. Mm-hmm. It apparently happened afterwards. So, so they'll probably... Yeah, SmackDown. That might get added to the card, but I'm not going to review it if it's at the moment.
And hopefully, if that card is added to that, if that match is added to the card, then hopefully Seth Rollins will make his appearance then. Because, like I'm saying, previously, last couple of weeks worth of Raw, there's only been like 3 since WrestleMania, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's all been Seth Rollins stuff, isn't it?
Well, that's been the most interesting stuff. That's been the most memorable. Yeah. Everything else has just kind of felt like a bit meh. Yeah. Aleister Black has come back into WWE and done absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so's Rusev.
Yep, Rusev's come back and he's done a couple of jobbers in, which is exactly what I expected him to do.
Yeah,
but you would think this is their first PLE. Let's get the ball rolling with these guys. Let's get them going. I mean, we haven't seen the Wyatt 6 come back yet, which I thought was going to be something that happened hand in hand with the return of Aleister Black, which that hasn't happened. No. Sorry, guys. I know we're going on tangents, but this card is so uninspiring.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, what have we got? We've got the 4-way. That might be the best match on. That might actually be the best match on.
My God, this is gonna destroy all the other matches. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu in the same match. Honestly, LA Knight and Damian Priest, get the fuck out of
here. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre had a really great match at WrestleMania.
They did. I'm being unfair to Damian Priest there. I'm not being unfair to LA Knight.
No. Well, I do enjoy LA Knight, though, to be fair. I
enjoy LA Knight as a personality, but not necessarily.
Yeah, well, he's in a 4-way, so he's got 3 other dudes to lean on.
So he's going to say his catchphrase, and then Jacob Fatu is going to decapitate him. So
he might drop his fancy elbow drop, but so I think this might be the match of the night. I think Jacob Fatu's going to keep it. Mm-hmm. I think, personally. Then we got Pat McAfee and Gunther. Who fucking cares?
Oh my God! This is just. For the love of God, have this match last 30 seconds and have Gunther absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not being. If this is a competitive match, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
If this is a competitive match, that basically tells me that Gunther has made it clear to them he isn't re-signing his contract. Because frankly, how they've been using him for the last 6 months, he feels like a guy who has not. It's like what happens in AEW. The guys in AEW say, yeah, I'm not renewing the contract next time. I'm probably going to go to WWE.
And then you don't see him anymore.
And you don't see him anymore. I feel like instead of benching a wrestler, it's so much more WWE style to kind of bury them. And it really feels for me, despite the fact that Gunther had a really good promo on Raw, which is the best Gunther has looked, the most intimidating and the most like Gunther has been in months and months and months. And oh my God, the fact that they had to wait until he lost his belt for that to be the case.
I don't care about this match whatsoever. If Pat McAfee wins this, then what does that say about Jey Uso? Mm-hmm. The Jey Uso who struggled to beat Gunther all this time.
Oh yeah, and then Pat McAfee comes along and does it in one try.
Beats the ex-world champion. Yeah. Oh God. No, don't care.
It's got to be Gunther. Although I'm a little bit perturbed here because of the fact that in Wikipedia it isn't Gunther versus Pat McAfee. They've literally put Pat McAfee first. It is Pat McAfee versus Gunther.
Wow, it's Wikipedia though.
I know. It's just things like these have a tendency to telegraph. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What else we got? We got Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky Lynch. What about this one?
Lynch.
This might be a good wrestling match.
Yeah, I think it will be. It will at least be a much better match than the one they had at WrestleMania, which was, frankly...
They didn't wrestle each other, did they? They
didn't wrestle each other, but they were both in the match at the same time, and it wasn't the greatest. It's probably Becky Lynch's worst WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
So far, I would say. And, the problem with that match was that it was put in the cooler position. It was like the second to last match on one of the nights. I can't even remember which one. I think it must have been
the second night.
One.
It was night 2.
Was it night 2?
Yeah. It was right before John Cena.
Oh, okay, yeah. And this harkened back to me. This really smacked of when WWE used to use the sole women's match they had on their card as a cooler for the crowd that every now and again would just straight up get cancelled because they didn't want it running into the time they had allotted for the main event.
See, I don't see why they need callers, considering they've got 20 minutes between the matches.
Oh yeah.
You don't really need a caller for people to go and have a piss and get a beer and that one. You could just do it between each match.
I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. Most of these matches won't go past 15 minutes. And
it'll be a 3.5 hour show.
Yeah, it'll be a 3.5 hour show.
Oh yeah, I'm not watching this live.
Oh hell no.
No way am I watching this live.
Hell no. Watching something like this live would be absolutely death. Well, I mean, you would have plenty of opportunities to have a piss break. You'd have plenty of opportunities to get yourself more
Make beer. A sandwich.
Yep.
Watch Saving Private Ryan between 2 matches, You could probably watch Ben-Hur between 2 matches. Oh
my God. We should do that one day. We should see what is the longest film that we can watch in increments while watching a WWE PLE. Yeah.
Oh, true. Well, I think Becky's might win this one.
Do you think she might win it?
Yeah, well, Lyra's had it for a while now, hasn't she?
Yeah,
but they've just had Chelsea Green drop her one, so it's probably about time.
And I get the feeling that by making Becky Lynch have it, because a lot of the hubbub around the mid-card titles right now is that they're not being treated with the greatest of respect. They're not really taking them seriously. And
well, how can you take them seriously when you've got 2 world championships?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same problem we was talking about last time. Get rid of one of the world championships and you can take your mid-card title seriously.
Absolutely. And especially when one of your world titles is being treated as if it was. Yeah,
exactly.
As if it was a mid-card belt, yeah.
Well, you got that. And in the main event, John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Christ, these were bad when they were trying to entertain us. And now John Cena's apparently on this anti-entertainment lark. And, for anybody... the only thing that might save this one is the fact that the reaction to his match against Cody Rhodes was so appallingly bad that they might put some effort into this one.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be a dog shit.
Yeah.
To be honest.
This year... I'm just having flashbacks to their ladder matches, to their... Did they have an I Quit match or a No Holds Barred match?
I can't remember. It was like nearly 20 years ago these guys started feuding, weren't it?
The Forever Feud. Do you remember when WWE... You actually probably won't remember this because you weren't watching it at the time. But there was a time when they started using the same sort of language to describe the feud between John Cena and Randy Orton as the internet was using to describe the feud between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada.
Were they really hyping it up that much?
They were trying to make it seem like this was the story of WWE's 2010s. The Forever Feud. The epic struggle between good versus evil. And nobody cared.
I can't even remember any of their matches, to be fair.
And
I've seen them, and I watched plenty of them before I stopped watching.
When these two, it got to the point when matches were announced between John Cena and Randy Orton, the audience would groan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
2014 Royal Rumble. That was the year that everybody was hoping that Daniel Bryan was going to make an appearance in the Royal Rumble, and he didn't.
Is that the one where they booed Mysterio because Mysterio came out instead of thingy?
Yeah. And the big problem, and one of the problems is that people don't remember this, but John Cena and Randy Orton had an absolutely appalling match that day as well, which is why the crowd was in a bad mood to begin with.
No. Not looking forward to it. Not really looking forward to this show, to be fair.
It will be...
at least it will only... it won't be 4 hours. It will probably be about an hour and a half or something watching.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah. We will skip straight through all of the advertisements, all of the... where is it? It's going to be in St. Louis, so we're going to have about 3.5... at least 45 minutes of this show will be dedicated to the St. Louis, Missouri Tourism Board.
Yeah,
which I will be absolutely skipping through.
I'll be skipping that. I'll be skipping the video packages. I'll probably even skip the entrances. To be fair.
Yeah, honestly, these I'm sorry, but this malarkey about Aura is getting on my last nerve now. I don't care how slowly Roman Reigns can walk down to a ring. Can he hurry up and hit somebody, please?
You know what I mean? The only person who can slowly walk down to a ring is the Undertaker.
Absolutely. That's Aura.
And Travis Scott, apparently.
He can take as long as he likes. I just hope the other two remember that there's a match going on in the ring while it happens.
Yeah. Anyway, not looking forward to Backlash. Looks like it's going to be a dog turd.
Do you know what? I thought we would start off with the firings and then cheer ourselves up with a PLE preview, but it feels like we're going to start off with a dour PLE preview and cheer ourselves up with some firings. Sorry for being glib about that.
No, we'll do the firings and then we'll just talk about something fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about
rainbows and unicorns.
Or Kurt Angle shoving Vince McMahon's son through plate glass.
Oh yes, that was Wrestle.
Do you know, I can't remember at all what I gave you that what match
you gave me the Shield versus the Wyatt family.
Oh, okay. The expression I'm getting here is very, very...
I watched it twice.
You watched it twice?
I watched it a couple of days after you recommended it, and I watched it 2 nights ago just to refresh because I'd forgotten.
Just a refresh, right? Okay.
With the amount of wrestling, so I do have some opinions.
That's interesting. The expression he gave me while he was describing that was quite pokery, so I'm going to have to yeah.
We'll cheer up. We'll save that to the end, and we'll cheer us. Shall we go through so WWE had their annual releases, and so a lot of people down the dole queue. Yeah. Some surprising, some not surprising, I suppose. I'll quickly just read the list. Or do you want to read?
No, you go ahead.
I'll read the list and then we'll just talk, because I don't really want to go into every single one, because some of these people I don't even know who they are, to be honest. So the full list of names, which you can find if you go to @LOB Wrestling on the socials, because I did tweet this out as it was happening and stuff and found it. But anyway, so we got Dakota Kai, Braun Strowman, Shayna Bazler, Caden Carter, Katana Chance, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolin, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, Riley Osborne, Oro Mensah, Javier Bernal. Is that how you say it? Bernal? Javier Bernal? I don't know who that is.
The fact that we are struggling to realise how you pronounce his name says everything we need to know.
Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, Wolfgang, Danny Palmer, and Shotzi apparently is not having her contract renewed. So all the others were released, and Shotzi is going to be leaving soon. So
yeah,
only a few main roster ones. Most of them are NXT.
Yeah, most of them are NXT.
Which, to be honest, I enjoy NXT more, so I was a bit more shocked with some of these.
Gigi Dolin, I really, really am Dakota Kai. And
Cora Jade.
Yeah, Cora Jade.
I'm really shocked with them three.
Shayna Bazler, actually.
But Shayna Baszler's a main roster one.
But here's my theory on why some of these have been cut. And especially this is true with Dakota Kai, with Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler. Pretty much like the first half of this list. And even Shotzi, if I'm being quite honest. There has been talk of WWE grooming TNA to take up their position on cable when everything on a WWE wise gets put onto Netflix.
Yeah.
So I reckon that these names have been let go to bolster the ranks of TNA.
Well, that's if they go to TNA, though.
That's if they go to TNA, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think might happen. You know, you've got these 90-day no-compete contracts. What if, just for TNA, they get waived?
Yeah.
You make up a deal with them quick, they get waived so you can go to TNA. AEW doesn't even have the option to pick them up because they can't even talk to them for 90 days.
Can they not? I'm sure they can. I think they can talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they can talk to them.
But, yeah, for me, this is like... TNA is going to be the place where all of the fired WWE people get funneled to as a way of trying to stop them being picked up by AEW.
Yeah. Well, see, I was surprised with a lot of these, but then come to think of it, NXT, I mean, you know, most people watch NXT now as a third brand, but it is a developmental brand.
Yeah. I mean, that's even more true now than it was back in the day.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think like some of these, like Gigi Dolin and Cora Jade are brilliant.
Yeah.
But then, if they're not planning on using them on the main roster, then they're just NXT stars then.
Exactly, yeah.
And
they've been there for ages.
Yeah, so really you'd think, well, shouldn't we get rid of some of these people to make way for the new people coming through who are going to be on the main roster? So while because I enjoy watching Cora Jade, Gigi Dolin and stuff, but yeah, I mean, if they've been at NXT for so long and they're not going to the main roster, then why do NXT need it? It's a developmental show, really.
I mean, they're also being like leapfrogged by the likes of Vasquez and by Julia and by Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace has been in there.
Did you say Vasquez?
Yeah.
Vasquez is the Mexican lady in Aliens. Is the Marine Vasquez.
So who was the...
Vaquer. Is that Stephanie Vaquer?
Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, Vasquez is the badass Marine in Aliens.
They both begin with V.
I thought he was going to say they're both Mexican. I was going to say, well, Stephanie...
I'm not that bad.
No, Stephanie Vaquer isn't Mexican anyway.
She's that Chilean. Bloody bad. They both begin with V, okay? It's very easy to get those two names mixed up.
I'm just pulling your chain. But yeah, that's what I mean. If they're getting leapfrogged and other people going to the main roster, then it's like, well, do we keep good people on our NXT show to have it as a third brand, or is it a developmental show where we've got to clear it out and make way for new people?
To be honest, if you're going to have new people have matches with experienced wrestlers, Cora, Jade, Gigi Dolin, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Shayna Bazler, these are all good names.
Yeah. Well, Shayna Baszler's a main roster person. She's not an NXT person.
Well, she's also the kind of person they'll definitely bring back down to NXT.
Yeah, well, apparently she was helping out people with NXT. But I mean, looking at that list, Dakota Kai I'm shocked with. She'll probably end up in AEW, I think.
I mean, if they're going to pick anybody... Do you know what? I really don't see him going for Braun Strowman. I think he's TNA banned.
I think he's problematic. Because he does come out with... Like, when he was released last time, he did come out with a load of bollocks on Twitter,
did he?
Yeah, you'd
really?
read him, like, arguing with people on Twitter and stuff. Yeah. Wow. So I think... I
didn't know any of this.
And because he got released when he got last released, it was because he had a big contract. And he's probably got a big contract now.
Yeah. So they keep signing him and they keep releasing him.
I don't think AEW pick him up. Because AEW don't really like the big men, do they, too much either?
Well, the thing is that they know that the big men do basically... one kind of match.
Yeah.
And AEW likes their 5-star
I don't think that. Well, they didn't pick him up last time, so I don't think they'll pick him up this time.
No.
Yeah, because remember he started that wrestling company with
EC3. Control your narrative.
Yeah, all that rubbish. Yeah, so I don't know what he's going to do. It'll probably be a TNA bound.
I forgot he was part of that. Yeah, no. Yeah. Suddenly you talking about him being problematic makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Shayna Baszler, I think, could be an AEW one. Because, her mate's over there, what's it name?
Is it Marina Shafir?
Marina Shafir.
Yeah.
And
I didn't actually know they were friends.
Ronda Rousey did wrestle for Ring of Honor a while ago.
Yeah.
As well. Mind you, there was talk about, I heard on some news, that I think WWE were trying to bring Ronda back for a bit, but I think AEW should really snap up Shayna, get Ronda in, have the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah, I mean... The thing is that if we're going to talk... Now, I am not somebody who, goes off on, what people say or do. And I know she's apologised for this. But Ronda Rousey is someone I really do not fuck with. And the reason for that is because she goes out there and says... At least she did. And she has apologised. But I think if you think this in the first place, get fucked. She thought that Sandy Hook was a false flag. That is one of the most unconscionably evil things I think a person can think.
Well, maybe. Well.
I mean, okay, right, so she did apologise for it, but I can't, whenever I think about her, I can't get those thoughts out of my head. And it's not something you want to think about, is it, when you're watching a piece of light entertainment?
Yeah, well, to be honest, with these people, I don't think about their personal lives when I watch. Like, same with the actors and stuff, people getting cancelled for things and that. It's like, well, I still enjoy that film.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still watch a Chris Benoit match.
Yeah.
I don't find... I did for a while find it difficult, but now I don't. It's like, well, it happened, but, like, why should I not enjoy the wrestling? Especially, like, because a lot of them matches are, like... Like one of the Rock's best matches is against Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
you're talking about a guy who 4 years was legitimately my favourite professional wrestler of all time, and that makes it I do find myself having to
Yeah, I mean Chris Benoit is an extreme example. It is a bit hard to watch, but I mean just because someone like Braun Strowman could be a bit of a dick, but I'm not going to not watch his wrestling match because of he's a dick outside the ring. Yeah. So. But yeah, these other ones, Caden Carter, don't really know who that is. I think that's an NXT girl. Katana Chance.
Yeah, I think Katana Chance and Caden Carter were basically in the same...
they're a tag team, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in a tag team.
Right, so I've been watching NXT for 4 months now and I don't really know who they are. Yeah. So, I don't expect...
I will say, I really like Katana Chance purely for the viral videos that WWE have created around her. Do you know what she was famous for? She was famous for doing Ninja Warrior.
Oh, okay.
And then she did all of this Ninja Warrior stuff in the ring in WWE. She out Kofi Kingston in the Royal Rumble spot. She had a couple of really, really excellent ones. So I thought they could do something really good with her, but they clearly don't, they clearly just see her as, someone to film a spot with, and that's it.
Yeah, but as I say, I mean, I've been watching since January, and I don't know who they are really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised. As we said, Cora, Jade, Gigi, I'm not surprised.
Two people I actually think, Gigi Dolin, maybe more so than Cora Jade, because she is apparently best mate. They were married at one point, and they have divorced, but she's still one of Darby Allin's best mates.
Apparently her husband works in TNA. Her current husband works in TNA. So she could be TNA or AEW, because she has wrestled for AEW.
Yeah.
So she'll end up somewhere. Eddie Thorpe, I'm surprised about this one.
Yeah, I got to say, I enjoyed his work.
Well, I mean, I haven't enjoyed his work. I don't like him, no. But he's been featured in quite a high prominent role in NXT.
Yeah.
But I mean, I personally hasn't liked his stuff. So
when I'm thinking about that now, I do remember I thought his work in the his promo work leading up to the match that he had out, I don't think it was Stand and Deliver. I think it was the one before that.
Oh, it was the one that it was meant to be a violent match and it wasn't violent.
Yeah, like they promised the world and
was
they
it the
delivered
strap match?
Yeah, I think it was the strap match. Yeah, but that's the thing. Eddie Thorpe, like delivering his promo work was really, really good, and what he was doing there was actually quite excellent. The problem is that the match did not live up to the lofty expectations that Eddie Thorpe himself gave me.
I mean, personally, he's not my cup of tea, but I'm surprised because he's been in featured matches on NXT, like quite high-profile matches, so I'm quite surprised with that. Jakara Jackson, she had the match with Gigi Dolin and Tatum Paxley on the pre-show. It was her and Lash Legend, I think
Lash
it was.
Legend,
yeah, they had a good match, so I mean, I'm surprised. Riley Osborne, I don't know who that is, nor Aura Mensah, Javier Bernal, don't know who they are.
And then you've got three blokes from NXT UK that they've not used in ages.
Yeah, was it Callis was the group? So they got rid of the whole group. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not surprised about that. Maybe there's some visa things as well that's played a part in that and stuff.
Shotzi does also surprise me, but also I think Shotzi's a very good fit for TNA.
Yeah. And Danny Palmer, I don't know who that is either. So
sorry, everybody, we don't know everything.
We don't know everyone. Well, a lot of these. The thing is,
podcast.
well, a lot of these people, the NXT ones, haven't been featured since I started watching NXT, so I wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah,
they haven't been on telly for the past 4 or 5 months, so you know.
I mean, and if you're not going to use somebody on TV, well, at least come to terms with an agreement with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think. So the ones that I am surprised about are also, I can understand if they're not going to bother bringing them up to the main roster, because, you know.
I mean, I'm not being funny. I like Gigi Dolin very, very much. The same with Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Do I see them as, like, taking the sort of spots currently occupied by people like Bayley and Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and even Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair? No, I don't.
No, but I mean, you know, you got rid of Gigi, don't you? But you still, like, so Shotzi's gone and Gigi's gone. They're 2/3 of a group with Tatum Paxley, but they've kept Tatum.
Yeah.
And you think, well, but a lot of these,
is that they're all damage control or is it toxic attraction?
Might be toxic. I don't know. I can't remember. It's not damage control. Damage control is the one with the Japanese girls with Io Sky and that's damage control, isn't it? With
Io Sky and Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane, that's it. Yeah, but if you look at a lot of these girls, they're all like tag team, like one half of tag teams. And things. So they've totally gutted the tag team.
Oh yeah, apparently, like there's been talk of them just retire the women's tag team division. If you're not going to do anything with them, if you're not going to create actual tag teams, if you're just going to split them up the second you get the division going, just get rid of them and stop. Cock teasing people with this idea that there's going to be a women's tag team division.
I know, tag team wrestling is kind of a bit... You know, we had a renaissance with AEW, but even AEW ain't really treating it serious as it was at the moment.
I mean, I get the feeling that Tony Khan had every intention of the world in starting up the tag team division, but then the exact same realisation hit him that hit Vince McMahon all those years ago. Every single tag team match I create, I've got to pay twice as many people just as much.
Yeah. Yeah, but then these people are under contract anyway, so it does, it's not as if they're paying them by the match.
Yeah. I suppose so. I'm not really au fait with how the world of
Well, I mean, I assume back in the day that was the case, but now if they're under contract, I'm assuming they just get paid their set rate for a contract, don't they? They probably just get pay-per-view bonuses and things, I would have thought. So... But yeah, so that was the releases. It's a bit sucky that they do it again every year, but mind you, apparently AEW got rid of a few people as well.
Oh yes,
there was a guy who I don't know his name. They released him.
He was in like a tag team or something.
And then
they
got rid of the Righteous tag team.
They didn't get rid of the Righteous tag team.
They asked for their release.
Yeah, they asked for their release because I think they get they would like to be used better in other places.
My wife hated them.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she didn't like them at all.
I remember they had a good entrance.
I liked Vincent, I didn't like Dutch.
Yeah. They had a good entrance, like when I first remember seeing them. In fact, I think I first remember seeing them, me and you, in these days when we still watched ROH. We watched one of the ROH, one of the ones that ended in the main events were always FTR versus the Briscoes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Vincent, I remember when he was in a part of the Kingdom as well. Back with Matt Taven and...
Yeah.
Matt Taven. Mind you, where's he gone to? Him and...
I don't know.
Cornelis' husband. They disappeared and all. Because they've renamed the Kingdom to something else now on AEW. So they just ditched
the Undisputed, what's he called?
No, they're called like Paragon or something now. They just changed the Undisputed names. They're called Paragon, and now Kyle O'Reilly and what's the other one's name? Backbreaker Boy. I forgot his name.
Roderick Strong.
Yeah, they come out to Killswitch Engage music again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But yeah, so that's the main topics. How far are we into this one? Is it going to be a short show?
I think it's going to be a short show.
Is it going to be a short show, or we're
not even broken 40 minutes yet.
Well, we've got our Wrestle Club, and then we can carry on talking about getting AEW tickets, because that's fun. But should we talk about Wrestle Club then, since we talk about the releases?
Yes.
So last week I recommended. Last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks and a day, because we're on Wednesdays now.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, we're moving to Wednesdays.
Well, I mean...
are we permanently moving to Wednesdays, or are we going to...
I mean, I think we're permanently moving into Wednesdays. I'm just reminding you that when people probably download and watched our podcast... It's
probably Thursday for them, because we upload it, because we record this late in the evening. But yeah, so yes, we're going to be a day after... for the 6 people that listens to this.
The 6 unique listeners that we get out of the 32 listens that we rack up on YouTube. And however many is on Spotify.
Yes. We're also on Spotify.
Which will be backfilled hopefully by this time next week.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put on a date for that.
No. Well, if not, we'll put one on. We can maybe put one on after this, and then so we can put one on and the new one, and then just do that, and it'll fill up. But yes, so we're moving days. Not that you care, but yeah. So Wrestle Club, back to the Wrestle Club. I recommended to you. Was it King of the Ring?
2001?
Was it 2001? Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon in a street fight. What did you think?
It was like witnessing a murder. It was. Oh my God. He is just shoving a man through plate glass. It's hard to think of anything else that happens in that match. Because it's so... It's just like... Shane McMahon is lucky to be alive.
How many times did he have to throw him into that glass?
I think it was like 5.
And then when they came back out, he gave up and just threw him for it instead of trying to do an overhead suplex. Naughty stuff.
Just make sure that the glass you order is the correct glass, people, if you intend on suplexing a person through it. For the love of God. What an absolute...
And I remember there was an angle slam from the top where he put a board as a platform to...
Yeah.
No, it was a good match.
It's one of the best hardcore matches ever.
Yeah, because I went back and rewatched it the night before we recorded just to make sure it was actually good.
The thing is that what I would really have liked to have done, because obviously, this is one of those matches where I watched it and its reputation already preceded it. I would like to go back and watch it at a point where I had no idea what was about to happen.
Yeah.
And I've got no idea that the glass that he's trying to put him through isn't gimmicked.
Yeah, because I think this is one of them, because I don't think I watched it 2001. I might not watch it live, but I probably watch it like the day or so next day, like on the tape or something. Someone got me. So I watched it close to the time. So that's why I rewatched it again just before, because a lot of these matches I'm recommending to you, I remember them, but it's been like 20 years since I've seen them. Because some of these I ain't got on DVD and stuff. So, but now I know like a lot of the pay-per-views from that time you ain't seen. I could probably find a few more matches, because finding matches from Raw, because half of them ain't on fucking Netflix.
Yeah,
and it's really annoying because the one I'm going to recommend today ain't on Netflix.
Oh, is it not? But it's full on.
It's on YouTube, because I had to rewatch it to make sure it was actually good, because it's been like 20 years since I've seen it. But you recommended me the Wyatts versus the Shield from 2014 Elimination Chamber. So I watched this twice. So I watched it a couple of days afterwards. So on the first watch, I watched it. I think I was a bit tired. I didn't particularly enjoy it too much. And then I kind of got into it. It started picking up, like the pace of the match picked up. And I thought, oh, here we go. And then it ended.
Oh, really?
And I was like, whoa. So I wasn't too enthralled. Yeah. But then I watched it again a couple of nights ago, and I enjoyed it a lot more watching it through the second time. Again, I think it like got really interested. I really enjoyed the end of the match, but I feel like it picked up its pace. Like really towards the end, it would have been nice for that pace to have picked up earlier. Yeah. But I think what gives this match a bit of a disservice is I don't know anything about the feud.
I was literally, when you gave me that poker face a bit earlier on, I was like, oh, I wonder why he thought that. And then I remembered, like, that this match was like the accumulation of months of not necessarily the Wyatts and the Shield feuding with each other, but just them kind of every single time they meet, sort of almost incidentally, they have a really good moment or they have a really good match or something. And it's like, Bray Wyatt...
and the video package didn't...
Did it not?
Didn't give me... Like, I mean, it showed me stuff, but obviously it didn't give me what I think I needed to be more invested in this.
Yeah.
But I think that really did it a disservice, because I think if I would have gone into watching it with the hype around it, I probably would have loved it.
Okay.
Because again, story matters really, and because the package didn't really show me, and I don't know much about these guys.
Shit! Now I've got to give you a banger, because I've given you one deliberately awful one and one that I thought was going to pick up.
The thing is, it was a good match.
Yeah.
But then I watched it in a week, like in the last few weeks, where I've seen, Kenny Omega have a fatal triple threat match, and things like that. Yeah, so it just got like I've watched it, and it was just like. Because compared to modern wrestling, the wrestling wasn't like as high paced. But that's what I'm saying. Towards the end of the match, the last few minutes, it switched up that gear, and it was fast paced. When you suddenly people going through the tables, and then you get in the finishes, Roman Reigns fighting them all off on his own. That was all good stuff, but it happened towards the end, and I would have liked to have seen that pace switch up a bit earlier in the match.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But yeah.
Yeah.
So,
where are we?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a respectable match, but yeah, I think the story, because I didn't know the story, it probably weren't as up there as it probably would have been had I been watching it on a weekly basis. So, but yeah, it was a fairly decent match.
Sure. So, what's your recommendation for me?
This one. When's the date? I forgot the bloody date. I think it's 2002.
I'm going to have to look up mine as well, actually.
Yeah. 2002. It's Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker in a ladder match on Monday Night Raw. And I don't know if you would have seen it, because this might be the sort of the time when you started watching wrestling.
Yeah.
But you told me you watched SmackDown predominantly.
Yeah.
So I think you may have missed this one.
Was this in his "I'll Make You Famous" era?
This was Undertaker, like American Badass type.
Badass,
this was for the Undisputed. Remember that Undisputed time? This was that. It was Undertaker versus just... It's not the greatest match in the world, but it's kind of a match that, like, you could see where Jeff Hardy was starting to become main event level. It was a good match. It's not as good as the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I was struggling to find Raw matches, because again, this one is not on fucking Netflix. Again, it really annoyed me that it weren't on Netflix. Because there are a few that I want to show you, but they're not on Netflix, and a couple of them ain't on YouTube either. So, but yeah, this one was it's Jeff Hardy versus Undertaker from Raw. I want to say it's June. I think it's June 2002. It's post WrestleMania 18, so that would be 2002, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's full on Attitude Era. So is this what you're recommending me?
Yep, so for me, it is Survivor Series 2017, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, John Cena. And the reason why I want you to see this is because we have talked recently about how things that we thought were really, really good in WWE, more recent wrestling has come along and kind of eclipsed what the 2000s and the 2010s had to offer when it came to professional wrestling. So I'm genuinely wondering how much you're going to enjoy this match, because this is, as far as I'm concerned, the gold standard for WWE in 2010s wrestling. Yeah, this is one of the best.
Yeah, I'm intrigued because you messaged you when we was talking about our review for WrestleMania. We was moaning about AJ Styles having a wank match, and then you mentioned like this sort of time when he was fighting Brock Lesnar and John Cena. You were surprised how good it was. So I'm intrigued to watch this then,
because like he had a really bad start, I think, to his time in WWE, where he was, fighting guys like Chris Jericho. The Chris Jericho feud was pretty uninspired and a very, I think, poor way to begin his career in WWE, as it didn't really have that zing that you expect.
He started off with the pop at the Rumble, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then, so I just kicked the beers on the floor. I'm going to have another one, I think, because I've nearly finished this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's taken us about almost 50 minutes.
These are big bottles.
Yeah.
They're big bottles, and they're not tasty. Korev. The coast is your compass. Cornwall Lager. There we go.
The coast is your compass. It isn't tasty. There you go. There's your ad read.
People only do things because they get paid. That's just really sad.
A Wayne's World. A Wayne's World.
I'm glad you got the reference on that one. Well, I'm going to open another beer. Do you need another one opening? I mean, I'm not going to keep everyone here listening to me to drink through another one of these because
we've pretty much exhausted all the things. So we had a long one last time, so I think we're due a short one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how long have we done? Is there anything that we need to whinge about or something fun that we want to mention before?
Any wrestling you've seen the last couple of weeks?
I did enjoy a fun match on YouTube that I found on someone put on Blue Sky.
Oh, okay.
After the releases, someone posted a match of Gigi Dolin versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, very good.
And it was, when I say Gigi Dolin and Orange Cassidy, it was Orange Cassidy dressed as Gigi Dolin versus Gigi Dolin dressed as Orange Cassidy.
Fantastic.
And they were wrestling each other's gimmick.
Right, firstly, sod bloody...
I was going to recommend that one too, but it's not a very good match. It's just 8 minutes. It's just 8 minutes of silliness, but we can put in a doobly-doo if we find it on YouTube. We'll put in a doobly-doo anyway, as well as the...
Which, by the way, people, that when we say doobly-doo, we mean the description.
They know. Our fans know. They listen to all our content. They listen to hours and hours of our content.
Every person.
They don't miss a second.
McMahon teach you nothing. Everybody's podcast is somebody's first podcast.
That's true. It's the doobly-doo down below.
Doobly-doo down below.
Which, do they have a doobly-doo on Spotify?
They must do. We'll have to copy
and paste it. I think we copy and paste it. But yeah, anyway, in the doobly-doo, like, share and subscribe while you're checking out the doobly-doo. Hit the bell icon. And obviously we're on Spotify if you prefer consuming content on that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good match. The Gigi Dolin. That's a fun one to check out.
Yeah. I bet you I know which promotion. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there is a match that there is a promotion that Orange Cassidy's done a lot of work with, and he's especially done a lot of work in the intergender scene, and it is one of those promotions that I hope is still up and running today.
Bar Wrestling. This one was from.
Okay, it might not be that one then.
It's the one where the fans are literally right up against the ring, like right on the apron. I think it's Bar Wrestling.
I mean, there's a few like that in London, mate.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll have to take you to an Eve show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to go to some.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I definitely think I'm coming up in the future, definitely I'm maybe like getting a ticket to a Progress or a Rev Pro show or something.
Well,
like
there
that.
might be some more stuff going on around the time because obviously Forbidden Doors coming. There might be some more stuff that weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, every single year, Rev Pro has put on an absolute banger just before them, but we never get tickets for it because they sell out so quickly.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe have a look, see how much they are. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to some more wrestling. I mean, I saw on Instagram an advert for the old Viking wrestling.
Oh, really?
Watch. Yeah, but it's in Edinburgh. It's not down here.
Ah, damn!
And I was like, I want to go again. For those of you, when I say the Viking wrestling, it's a show. I forgot what it's called. Ragnarok, and it's a show. Basically, they tell the story. It's like a theatre play, but they tell the story of like the Norse gods through the medium of professional wrestling, and it is good fun.
Genius.
If you like wrestling, you like theatre. It's it was a good old time. So check. What is it? Ragnarok. Yeah, check them out. That's good. Unofficial sponsor, as well as Korev. The coast is our compass. Cornwegian lager.
If you're in Cornwall, you're surrounded by coasts. So which way is north? You didn't think that one through, did you, boys?
That's true. Maybe the pointy bit.
Yeah.
That's the north.
Yeah, that's the north. Yeah.
That's the
in the east. No, the west. Sorry, the west.
Yeah. We're just talking shit now, aren't we?
Yeah. We talk shit from the very first moment of the very first podcast.
That's true.
I very rarely talk anything but shit in between, if I'm being frank. So anyway, Dave, do you want to do our famous sign-off?
Yeah, I mean, should we just drink these beers and watch Gigi Dolin dressed as Orange Cassidy, I suppose?
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to do that, and the rest of you can fuck off.